How's it going, guys? My name's Shane, and welcome back to another episode of the Horror Basement. Today we're going to be discussing Mercy Black, which is a new horror movie that was just released earlier this year on Netflix. Now, before we get into the movie itself, I feel like we need to touch on what was the main inspiration for this movie. So, as you all have probably heard, if you're on the internet and follow the news. Back in 2014, two 12-year-old girls in Wisconsin lured their friend into the woods and stabbed her 19 times in an attempt to kill her and offer her up as a sacrifice to the creepypasta character Slender-man in order to become proxies. Now, the victim of the stabbing, despite being stabbed 19 times, actually survived because two preteen girls who spend all day reading creepypasta turn out not to be the best, knife-wielding killers. And of course, the trial was highly publicized, so you'll now know that if anyone tries or succeeds in killing you in the state of Wisconsin, it will receive national news coverage. But this actually, I believe, led to some issues in the actual release of the Slender-man movie, which ended up being a total dumpster fire anyway. And of course, the people involved in the Slender-man movie did not want to touch or reference this incident with like a 10-foot pole. But the creators of Mercy Black actually used it as a jumping off point for their story in order to make a movie that touches on the viral internet horror phenomenon, creepypastas and all that. So the story actually follows Marina, who has just been released from a state mental institution, 15 years after she was involved in a very similar stabbing to the real-life Wisconsin case, where she and her friend Rebecca stabbed one of their friends and offered her up to this ethereal spirit entity called Mercy Black, who Marina believed would be able to cure her mother's terminal illness. Now, this movie is set in the current times, presumably 2019, so that would actually put the incident back in 2004. So in reality, they're essentially moving it back in time so that we can now have one of the persons getting released, and we get a part in the beginning of the movie where essentially her psychiatrist, or the person that's tasked with helping Marina, gives her, you're good to go, we're releasing you, and states that she's made a lot of progress and has dealt with her issues and can now hopefully go on to live a healthy and successful life. And in trying to do so, Marina moves in with her sister Alice and her son Bryce. But of course, not long after she arrives, the specter of Mercy Black begins to hang over the family. Now, that's not only because the townspeople apparently are aware of what she did and are harassing her and her family, but also it appears that Mercy Black, who in the time since Marina and her friend were arrested, has essentially become like a viral phenomenon, and essentially a famous creepypasta character. So in that respect, they put the cart before the horse, where in the original case, it was the creepypasta that inspired the crime, and in the fictionalized movie version, it was the crime involving Marina and her friend Rebecca, which actually inspired all of the folklore and internet buzz around Mercy Black. And of course, in response to this, Marina has to essentially uncover the mystery of her past and what really happened, which she has kind of suppressed through her years of psychiatric therapy before Mercy Black, or whoever is really behind this, can claim her and her family. So I think overall this movie got kind of mixed reviews online. There are a lot of people that said it sucked, and there are a lot of people that really liked it. I think part of that may be due to the fact that they're using the real life stabbing of a 12-year-old girl as like inspiration for their movie may have left a sour taste in people's mouth. But where I think this movie succeeds, where the Slender-man movie have essentially failed. Now we can talk all day about how that movie failed, but it's a really tense, well acted and well shot movie that does enough to explore like the creepypasta / fandom community, but that does not detract from, a well-made, atmospheric, and actually scary at points film. So beyond that, I'm not going to go through the entire plot with you because this is a new movie and there is actually somewhat of a twist at the end that you may be able to see coming if you're paying attention, but if you're just casually watching the movie, you'll be pretty surprised by the end of the third act, because I was trying to take notes for the movie, and at the last 10-15 minutes is just like, what's going on? Yes, overall, I would definitely recommend this. I really enjoyed this movie. The only thing that I wasn't too impressed with, it was the character design for Mercy Black herself. Now, kind of intentionally, because she was essentially the mental creation of these two teenage girls. Mercy Black is essentially just like a shitty scarecrow made out of sticks and random household items. So overall, a pretty lackluster design for the monster of your movie. But other than the movie, all around that is really enjoyable, and I would highly recommend it. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And next video, we'll be back with another installment in the classic horror review series, where I review classic horror movies from the 20s up through the 60s. So I hope to see you all then. Thank you.